Hello, how's it going? I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you all. I'm gonna wait for a bit to greet people as they. Oh, hello, hello. Thanks for joining me in the studio this evening. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, give a little bit of time for people to come in if they're gonna come in. Um, And then I'll just get started to talk about this piece. Just a couple of points that I think I want to make about it and answer any questions that anyone may have. If you are joining or come in late or can't stay for this whole stream, I'll be sure to save the video and post it up so you can check it out whenever you feel like it. And I'm pretty sure I'll also be doing a blog post and a YouTube video on this. So yeah, you don't have to stick around for just this. And I'm gonna probably try to keep this kind of short. So yeah. Hey, what is up? Thank you for joining. um, yes, so I guess I'll just go ahead and get started with talking about this a little bit. I mentioned that there are just a couple of things I wanted to just point out. I'm going to try to do these more often, so if you like this, let me know, and I can do this type of thing for future paintings that I'll do, or maybe some oldies that I still have laying around here. So, yeah. I first want to say thanks for everybody joining and also for all of the comments and support on this piece when I posted it. It was a bit overwhelming and a bit unexpected, but very much appreciated. I was very shocked by the response. And okay, sorry, the video paused for a second. But yeah, thanks again for the support. So, alright, this is obviously a self-portrait. And I try to do these maybe once, I don't know, every once in a while. It's become a thing now for me to do self-portraits, and especially nude self-portraits. I just like being naked, I guess. Or I think that is it's a more pure presentation. I think a more vulnerable presentation, and that is a feeling or a concept that I like to explore a lot in my work. So that is why a lot of my self-portraits are nude in some way. With this one, it was a big deal because for a really long time I was painting myself blue, and in this one I was just so determined to not paint myself blue. There must be some sort of meaning in there somewhere. I'm not going to try to explore that right now, but I know with this piece I wanted to go a little bit further with color and the expressive qualities of color. I also wanted to combine some of the things that I had just been practicing in the last maybe year and a half. So you can see the gold leaf, that was a big thing that I wanted to incorporate in this piece. And I use it in a way that I haven't before, which in this case it's a bit more distressed. I figured out a way to just apply it so it wasn't just like these flat fields of gold leaf. I mean, I don't think it's anything revolutionary at all. I just figured it out and tried it on this piece. So a lot of things, I went into this piece doing a lot of things that was kind of new or maybe a bit more extreme than I'm normally used to doing. Oh, thank you for telling me that it was powerful. Hey, hello. So yes, yeah, I started with a color in mind, and that color was this green. I just had it in my head. I wanted to do this green color. I don't necessarily know what it means, though I will say I wanted to do something that was bright, but not as happy as yellow. So that is kind of where this really bright yellowish green came from. And then I just added some other colors that I just thought went well with it. I wanted the background to be kind of happy, but also kind of unsure or a little bit murky. So that's where this gray came in. So I try to think about these things, like the emotional attachments, or I should say the emotional qualities, I guess, that we attach to certain colors. And so a lot of what I did was very deliberate in that sense. So once I kind of painted those colors out, then I painted the figure in a way to sort of tie it all in. So it wasn't just this crazy looking background and this figure that was kind of separate from that. So I tried to incorporate some colors from the background in the piece. And that, I don't know if that's just a thing everybody does, but it makes sense to me to do that, to just unify it all. So that is, as far as technical stuff, that was what I was keeping in mind with this piece. As far as beyond that, like personal meanings, beyond that, it's that is probably going to be a much longer discussion. But to just touch on a couple of things, I will say that I wanted to show a reflection of where I was in my current state. If you've been following some of my videos or blog posts, you might be kind of caught up with my state of mind about my work and maybe even about myself. I'm not sure how personal I got with a lot of that. But I've just been going through it. I've been going through it for quite some time, and this last year was really intense. And I thought it seemed like an appropriate time, especially with me getting back into painting. I think I'm kind of coming out of that haze a bit. I think I have a clearer idea of where I'm going to go moving forward. I am pivoting a little bit with my artistic life, and so I think I don't know, I just figured that I just gotta start doing work. And it's helped. It has definitely helped with this piece in general, specifically. This piece made my head hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I was really stressed out trying to finish this. I was on a bit of a deadline because I intended on entering this into a portrait competition. I made it in time, thank goodness, but it was such a mad dash. It was such a mad dash. I don't normally work this big, so that was, timing that was a big deal. And let's see, this last Friday I I don't even know how long I worked on it, but it was for several hours, maybe about a work day's worth, 7 or 8 hours worth, almost straight of painting this. And I was really stressed out. My sinuses were attacking me the whole time. I just had to let it drip because I just had to keep painting. So I'm like painting with a snotty nose and trying to make this deadline because it was just super important for me to just make this piece. I felt compelled. So this is what happened. This is what happened. So a couple of things that I hope come across in this piece, or what I intended to come across in this piece, was just a bit of that uncertainty that I've been feeling. I wanted to, the hands were really important. One, because I feel like I suck at them, so I wanted to push myself to put them in. But two, I love how you can use hands to express things. And this, with the, it was supposed to be like ringing hands because I noticed that I started doing that. That's just a habit that has kind of started out of nowhere. And I I don't know. I think it must be some sort of anxious thing that just started happening, and I needed to include that in there. The facial expression is neutral, facing away from the light source, because that's kind of how I feel. There's a light that's around me somewhere, but I'm not looking at it. I don't see it. I don't know where it is. It's there, but I don't know where it's coming from. So I'm just kind of in a state of mind where I'm just very very, it's like hopeful but skeptical. Is that how life is when you hit your mid-30s? You're hopeful but skeptical because you've lived enough life to be cynical, but you're still young enough to to think of good things, to expect good things to happen to you. I don't know. Hopefully I can kind of keep that going. But I don't know. We'll see. Some days I'm kind of like, why am I here? What's the point? But anyway, here we are. And another thing I wanted to point out specifically about this piece is the leaky teat here. Leaky teat. It's not meant to be milk. A friend of mine said it was milk, but no, I don't have any connection to milk in my breasts. I am not pregnant, don't want to be. So I don't ever kind of want to point to that. I don't want to speak that into my life or paint that into my life. Anyway, this is really meant to be blood, and I have experimented with this particular motif a couple of times, and it felt appropriate to bring it back. And when I first started doing it, it was meant to symbolize just an overflow of emotions. Emotions that maybe I'm not even aware of, or that I am very aware of, but just it's spilling out of me, and that's what that is supposed to be. Sometimes it also points to heartbreak. Sorry, I just read a comment. Yeah. So, yeah, Celeste, she's the one that thought it was milk. It's not milk. But, so yeah, I'll definitely be talking about this a bit more articulately, or however you say that, in a YouTube video and on in a blog post, because I do think I can express myself much better in writing. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thanks for all the hearts. Thanks for all the comments. I think I'm going to wrap it up here unless anyone has any questions or just wants to say what's up. I do appreciate the love in this little artist talk. And as I said earlier, I probably will do these more often as I create more pieces, or if a piece gets enough attention on it, that'll let me know that you guys are at least interested, and I can do another live stream where I go into a piece a bit more. I'll also try to pick a better time, something that might fit both East Coast and West Coast. But I just felt like doing it tonight. So here you go. Yeah, I think that is it from me for now. And yeah, I don't know how else to end this, but have a good night. And I will see you again real soon. Bye.